a democratic country is in trouble when the judges warn that the government is putting their independence in peril.
Exactly.
It's sad to say that the Judicial Council of Canada, led by the Chief Justice of our Supreme Court, wrote that the government, and I quote, put in peril the concept of an independent body that advises the government on who is best qualified to be a judge. Will the Prime Minister agree to stop his unprecedented and unacceptable manipulation of our judicial system?
As the honourable member knows, under our constitutional system, the naming of judges is the responsibility of the elected executive arm of government. This government has established an independent consultative process that includes, in fact, a broader representation of voices than ever before. We do not want the judicial appointments process to become a private club of judges and lawyers. That's why we included voices as diverse as victims and the police.
Will the Prime Minister stop attacking the independence of the judiciary? The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, obviously the Liberal Party opposes the change we've made, which is to give police a voice in this process. I'm not surprised, Mr. Speaker, given what I'm reading in the Vancouver Sun today, when I read this is how the Liberal Party makes decisions. The Vancouver Sun has learned that the father-in-law of the Member of Parliament for Mississauga-Brampton is on...
wasting a lot of time. The Right Honourable Prime Minister has the floor. Order.
Mr. Speaker.
Order.
I'm simply reading what the Vancouver Sun reported.
Well, we can go straight to the block question if that's the preference. We're wasting time.
Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister has made an absolutely uncalled for attack on the integrity of a member of this House, and in so doing has shown no respect for this institution. My question, similarly,
the Honourable Member for Etobicoke Lakeshore.
Mr. Speaker, similarly, the Minister of Justice appears to show no respect for the institution of the Canadian judiciary. The issue here is whether they are prepared to listen to what the justices and chief justices of this country are saying. Stop this foolish policy and reverse course.
Mr. Speaker, since the opposition apparently won't let me read into the record what the Vancouver Sun reported, let me just say this, Mr. Speaker, that it's very clear from the Air India families and I think from the police community and the wider Canadian community that we expect the Air India investigation to go forward. It's an important police investigation, and nothing in the Liberal Party should interfere with that. The Liberal Party was the one that passed these anti-terrorism measures in the first place. Rather than playing partisan games in politics, they should pass it again and allow the police to do their jobs.
The insinuation of the Prime Minister that this side of the House would put the public interest of this country does not deserve reply. His insinuations do not deserve reply. I repeat my question. Will the Minister of Justice listen to the Chief Justices of this country, or is he going to get up in this House and say that they're wrong?
Everyone in this country knows, including many in the media who don't normally support this party. Everyone knows that it was the Liberal Party that supported these anti-terrorism measures. And everyone knows that the entire front bench of the Liberal Party supported those measures until 2 weeks ago when the leader of the Liberal Party started playing caucus games with the safety and security of Canadians. He should be ashamed of himself.
The Prime Minister's allegations are simply beneath contempt. The Prime Minister has attempted in this House to impugn the character and the reputation of an honourable Member of Parliament. That is absolutely unacceptable, Mr. Speaker. Does he know that the newspaper story was correct or incorrect? Has he followed due process in making the allegations that he was proposing to make? Will he simply withdraw that character slur against a member of this House and live up to the basic decent standard of a Prime Minister?
Order. 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 The member for Wascana has asked order. We'll have some order, please. We're wasting a great deal of time today. Well, then control yourself. We'll have a little control in here. The Right Honourable Prime Minister has the floor to answer the question asked by the member for Wascana. Order.
Mr. Speaker, the honourable member in question could take up the facts of the story with Vancouver Sun if he likes. But everybody knows, Mr. Speaker, that the Liberal Party has done a complete flip-flop on an issue that is of vital concern to the safety and security of Canadians without explanation. It's inexcusable, and they should reverse their position and get back to doing the right thing.
Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister has just confirmed that to him, partisan advantage is everything. The truth doesn't matter. It's the allegation that counts. Never mind what the facts are in the final analysis. He's just proved his devious and deceitful behavior, and he doesn't pay any attention to the consequences to any Canadian. Mr. Speaker, will the Prime Minister withdraw those allegations and apologize to this House?
The Liberal Party can choose to ignore, if it wants, what's in the newspapers. They can choose to ignore what they want from this party. What they should not ignore, Mr. Speaker, is the fact that even the Air India families say that the position that they are now taking will jeopardize the police investigation into the Air India Terrorism Act. The Liberal Party has no excuse for that position. It's an irresponsible position, and they should change that position.
Mr. Speaker, this is not the point. The point is that the Prime Minister tried to tarnish the reputation of a member of this House in a so low manner that I've never seen it in 11 years in this Parliament. The Prime Minister must withdraw and he must apologize.
A clear question was asked in this House about unsubstantiated allegations. The House deserves the respect of a clear answer on a question that relates to the integrity of a member.
I was in the House. I didn't hear any allegation made. I know there was an effort to read an article. I often hear those done by members on the other side. But the real question is why the member for Etobicoke Lakeshore, with all the things he has said about the dangers of terrorism in this world, and all the positions he's taken, which are far more aggressive than the Anti-Terrorism Act, has now joined his leader in flip-flopping on this issue and wanting to oppose the Anti-Terrorism Act protections that Canadians need to rely on.
And Mr. Speaker, I would add my voice to those who would ask our Prime Minister to speak with the voice of Canada, to speak with the decency of politics, to speak with the consideration that this House has always known for one another, apologise and withdraw what clearly was going to be a drive-by smear.
I respect what the honourable member said about decorum. It would be nice to have a little bit in the House so that we could deal with these issues. But it's a very odd situation where we're being asked to apologise for something that was about to happen. I think the Liberals should apologise for what they're about to do. In terms of the Anti-Terrorism Act, a provision that our concern is that the problem that's facing Canadians is a very serious one. Not a question of games in the House of Commons, not a question of who's calling each other names or that kind of thing, but the question of the security of Canadians. It's a very serious question. It's a very profound question. They may be trying to dodge and divert, but the fundamental issue remains,
Mr. Speaker, what I am asking, through you, of the Prime Minister, is to restore the civility of this House to restore the sense of dignity of politics in our country, to speak for all Canadians and speak for what Canada is about, which is about decency and respect for one another as we seek to resolve essential issues of the day. What we want, Mr. Speaker, is a Prime Minister for Canada, not for partisanship, every day in this House, Mr. Speaker.